Alright, so we're going to continue with yesterday's notes. And we're going to use these two functions, which you used for A and B. So these are the same, they didn't change, and we're going to add problem C to it. And remember, problem C was f times g of x. That's the way you write that. That's what the asterisk means, to multiply. So I wrote down f, and then I wrote down g, and I'm going to multiply them together. Remember, when you multiply binomials, you have to FOIL, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to FOIL this. X squared times x gives us x cubed, and x squared times 1 gives us just x squared. You gotta go the other way, but now you've got to use the x. Multiply x times x to give you x squared, and x times 1 to give me x. And combine like terms, right? Put the ones together that match, and always start with the highest power. So there's 1x cubed. How many x squareds are there? Good. And then just an x. There's your answer. You just multiplied f times g. The next one, we did times, so let's do divide. We're going to take f divided by g of x. We're going to use the same two functions as before, right up here. We're going to keep using these. Usually that's what they'll do. They'll give you 2 and make you perform a bunch of different operations with the 2. We're going to divide. Okay, so put f on top, which would be x squared plus x. And g in the denominator, which is x plus 1. There's a really common mistake that you guys try to make here is you're going to try to cancel these two x's with each other. Okay? But I don't know if you remember, but in order to simplify, in order to cancel, the operation has to be multiplication. So let me show you what I'm referring to. If you have something like 2x over 3x, okay, this is kind of a think bubble. You're allowed to cancel those and just give yourself 2/3. That's correct. However, if you have 2 plus x over 2 minus x, let's say, okay, let's make this a 3. These x's, even if I put a plus here, these x's do not cancel. Do you see the difference? This is addition and this is addition, but this is multiplication. This is where you're allowed to cancel. This you're not allowed to cancel. Okay? So if I take a look at that, these are both addition, aren't they? So I can't cancel my x's. So let's get some multiplication by taking a look at the numerator. What can you factor out of the numerator? Because when you factor something out, you'll create multiplication. What can you take out? Good. An x. So take an x out. What that means is, in your head, think about, if I take an x out, x squared divided by x leaves me how many x's? Just 1. You can check it. X times x is x squared. Yes. Now move to the next part. If I took an x out of here, what is x divided by x? 1. Okay, and you can check again. X times x will give me x squared, and x times 1 gives me x. Now the denominator has an x plus 1. Now you can cancel, because this is saying you want this whole thing multiplied by x. So this is multiplied now. That cancels. You end up with just x in the top, so you just write x. If x was in the denominator, what would you have to put in the numerator? 1. So that's division. Which part? Okay. You understood the setup, correct?
Yeah.
Then you're going to take a look at one of them, and usually one of them will need to be simplified. So I looked at both of these and what can I factor out, what can I divide out, and x. So I divided the x out. Think about it.
Okay.
X squared divided by x gave me the x, and x divided by x gave me the 1.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, it's the 1 x squared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. All right, let's go to E. Before I start E in the think bubble, if I told you, we'll go for a second. If I said g of 2, and you looked at this problem, sorry. If I wanted g of 2, and this is g, what would I write down? I would put the 2 instead of the what? That, so it would be 2 plus 1. So g of 2 gives me what value? 3. Oops. Okay? Alright, just making sure you remember that. So let's move to E. And this is asking for f of g of 2. When you see a number buried inside, it's like order of operations. We're going to work from the inside all the way out. Okay? When you see a number in here, you're going to take this part first. You're going to find g of 2 first. Okay, if that's the case, then go back to your original problems, which were up here, and we're going to find g of 2. You can write yourself a note. Find g of 2 first. Then plug in to f of x. That's a very important thing to do. But work from the inside out. Find g of 2, then plug it into f. Okay, find me g of 2. I think we just did, what was it? 3. That was just by accident too. Okay, so if you find g of 2, we'll show our work right here so that we understand. That means you're going to take 2 and you're going to plug it in up here. So I want 2 plus 1 instead. So instead of x plus 1, I want 2 plus 1. So g of 2 gave us 3. We already knew that. What do you think I'm going to do with this 3 now? So in other words, this value right here is now 3. What am I going to do with that 3? I'm going to plug it into what? Good. I'm going to plug it into the f. So I'm going to take the 3 and I'm going to say, what's f of 3 this time? Go up to the top, and the function was x squared plus x. So how many different places do I have to put this 3 in?
2.
Yeah, 2 places. I've got to plug it in here and here. Both places. So I want actually 3 squared plus 3. What's 3 squared? 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. So f of 3 equals 12. Guys, be sure you write f of 3 equals 12. When you're finding a function with a number in the middle, you have to tell me what you found. Hey, I found f of 3. I plugged 3 in and this is what I got. Okay? You only have to do that with numbers. So that's E. Let's move to F. Do you remember what this one is? It says fog, right? But what does it really mean? F of g of x. Remember? I know we slept the whole weekend since then. Okay? It means, it's like that substitution, right? You're going to take a player out and put a different player in. Okay? We're going to make a substitution. We're going to take player G. We're going to put him in for F. I'm going to write the 2 functions up here so that you can see them because they're way up at the top of my paper. Okay, that's what they are. Everybody agree? We're going to take player G, which is this guy right here. All of this guy. Okay, this one's different. It's harder. And we are going to plug it in to which one? F, correct? But this one's a little different. How many players is he going to substitute in for actually? Here and here. Okay, so we're going to take out x, and in its place, what player are we going to put in right here? X plus 1. What do we do to it? Squared. We're also going to kick this guy out of the game. We're going to put what in his place? Another x plus 1. I know it's been a while since you've done this, but when you squared a binomial, remember, come over to your think box, it means you actually have to write the binomial how many times? And what do you have to do to it? Boil. It's really easy, actually. X times x is x squared. X times 1 is x. And I go the other way. 1 times x is x, and 1 times 1 is 1. Combine like terms. So x squared plus 2x plus 1. And then you take these and put them down. So plus another x plus 1. see I put these down here too. Combine like terms. Highest power first. Which will be x squared plus 3x plus 2. Got it? Right, move to G. G of f of 2. I'm going to write the two functions again at the top of my paper. Those are the two functions. Okay, my trick to this, remember me telling you? We're going to find this value first and then plug it in. So we're going to find f of 2 first. That means come up to this function, and everywhere I see an x, I'm going to substitute in a player, right? What player am I going to put in its place? 2. I'm going to kick all the x's out, we're going to put in 2's. Okay, so this is going to become 2 squared plus another 2, which is what? 6. So f of 2 is actually 6. What are we going to do with that? We're going to take the 6 and now find, this value is 6 now, isn't it? I'm going to take g of 6. And you're going to take the 6 and go over here, and everywhere you see an x, you're going to kick it out and substitute in the 6 for it instead. So you get what? 7. Correct. Right, H. One more, please. All right. This says g of f of x. We're going to take f and plug it in. Remember? Keep g out of the game, put f in instead. You go up here, you're going to take all this player, the whole thing, and we're going to kick out this player here. You try to write what you think belongs then. What do you think belongs? X squared plus x plus 1. Don't forget about the rest of the game. We need the rest of the players. Can I simplify that? No, so that's just my final answer. Here's I. G divided by f of x. You're going the other direction. G divided by f of x. So on top gets the numerator x plus 1. In the denominator, you're going to put f, which is x squared plus x. See if you can remember what you did last time. Give it a shot. Can I cancel the x's in this problem? No, it's exactly like the other problem, just flipped, basically. Okay? You can't. So the first step is to leave the numerator alone and take a look at this and factor an x out. So x squared divided by x is x. This gives you 1. Now, now this whole quantity cancels with that whole quantity and you get 1 over x. If I have 1 over x, what can x not be? Study curiosity. Yeah, give yourself a restriction. X cannot be 0. Okay. You should.